Hello. Do apologise. I wasn't sure if anyone was going to be here or not. My name is Andy, and welcome to Coffee Chat and Minis. It's not more Coffee Chat and Minis, as I normally start at 11 a.m. However, our good friend Goblin Squire is not doing too well at the moment, so get well soon, Goblin Squire, and I hope to see you back as soon as possible. Thank you. So, on today's show, I'm just going to be having some coffee and also just going to be showing you what I'll be working on this weekend. And what I've been doing recently is putting together a lot of the miniatures from Curse City, and there's quite a lot of them. So I am notorious for having a lot of backlog, as in a lot of minis that I need to paint. So over the past few days I've just been putting together as many as I possibly can just to get them clearing off the desk. I'm just going to bring a little lamp up as well to hopefully give us a little bit more light. See how that works out. It might be a little bit too bright. We'll see. No, I think I'll go with just the room lights. Yeah, that's much better. So, like I said, I'm just going to be putting these together. Next week I'm going to be working a lot more on the Bad Squiddo games as well. So I've still got this mini from the Bad Squiddo games, the Feudal Japan miniatures that I did. So what I'll be doing is getting the Bad Squiddo ones taken out and put together at some point soon. But in the meantime, I'm just going to get all these ones spray painted and ready. So first of all, as usual, I'm just going to test my airbrush first. And the main reason for this is because I've just been cleaning it yesterday. That's working quite well. I'm actually looking in a completely wrong drawer. Flow Improver and Thinner. So, anyone in the chat today? And if you are, how are you this morning? Far too much air going in there. Very thin. Okay, that's working a lot better. Hey J-Star, hey Cat. No, that's Lenore, sorry. How you doing? You alright? I'll be honest, I wasn't sure if anyone was going to make it. So Hamish isn't doing too well at the moment, so I asked him if he wanted me to cover his spot or not, and he said yes. So I thought I'd jump on and just fill in for him for now. So hi Phil, good to see you. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Looking forward to. I've been looking forward to the weekend all week. It's been another tough day at work, tough week at work, I should say. So the idea of not having to put the work laptop on and do any coding really appeals to me today. So I'm just working on these Cursed City miniatures at the moment. So once again, part of my backlog of minis, got tons to paint, and I've just been putting the miniatures together because the one thing that I hate doing is building anything, and now I can actually do some base coating and then hopefully do some quick painting later on. I'm now looking at just speed painting everything because I've got so many miniatures I'm behind on. I just want to get things done. I think I've got enough black in here just to do the last miniature, hopefully. So I'm hoping I'm not going to run out. I'm running out. Yeah, I've run out. I think I just about made that. I also have the good guys as well, so I'm just going to grab these ones. Is that one more? Nope, that's Catwoman. Yes, yeah, it's something that I need. So I find work really tough at the moment. So being able to take a break is very important as well. And looking forward to doing a lot of work on my YouTube channel this weekend as well. So I pretty much film almost everything that I do, just in case I ever need some content for the channel. So I've got a lot of videos that are all already done and waiting to be edited and uploaded to YouTube. I'm going to have to keep the good guys and the bad guys separate now, because they're all going to look the same. I did a video of the TIE fighter that's behind me as well. Hence the reason why I've got a green screen backdrop behind me. The plan was to take a lot of photographs, videos and photographs, and then I was going to green screen some space onto it and see how that works out. But I'll be doing that pretty much straight after I'm finished here today. Need a little bit more. This large guy I think looks fantastic, and I'm probably going to be painting him at some point soon. I really like the look of him. So Lenore, do you have any plans for the weekend? J-Star, do you have any plans? Morning, Pete the Priest. How are you today? How are you this fine weekend? Very hungry. Have you woken up late, or have you just not bothered to have breakfast this morning? Musical theatre. J-Star, I think you're going to have to explain yourself. Do you do amateur dramatics, or are you going to watch a show? Oh, is it someone in the family? You're being Dad's taxis. Oh, Pathfinder. I really should look into Pathfinder. Ran out of breakfast food. Alright, yeah, definitely get some cereal, make some toast. Hola, Carlos. Oh, it's really nice to see that people have made it here. Dad's taxi, yeah, that's pretty much my job as well, J-Star. Thank you ever so much for everyone who's been turning up. I wasn't too sure if I should take Hamish's spot or not, but I spoke to him yesterday and asked what he'd like me to do, and he said, I trust you with the channel, so I'm going to have to be on my best behaviour. I should tell everyone about my D&D game. So I played D&D for the first time in easily 2 years last Sunday, and the character that I'm playing is a barbarian dragonborn, and he's not the smartest. Basically, I pretty much dumped intelligence and wisdom. It went very well, and the DM went around the table and said, right, how did you all get into this party? And we had one of my friends was playing a gnome rogue, no, a gnome monk, and then another one was playing, I'm just going to say a fighter, but they were taking one of the new things from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, or whatever it's called. And then my brother-in-law who was playing took a artificer, a dwarf artificer. And then they got to me and they said, how did you be part of the party? And I just turned around and said, I'm going to say this out of character, but my character Grimlock is actually on a completely different quest called the Sunless Citadel, which was one that we'd done before. And he sat down with a lot of people and ended up going with the wrong group because he's that stupid. And everyone thought that was really, really funny. Don't know how original that is, but it created a bit of a good laugh. Grimlock also has this thing where when the party ask him to stealth, he stealths by putting his hand over his mouth and just goes Grimlock stealth. The problem that he has, because his stealth is atrocious, is when he fails stealth checks, it's actually because he's cutting off the air supply through his mouth and he's breathing really heavily through his nose. He also forgets what type of dragon breath that he's got as well, so he's not the smartest, but it's quite refreshing to be able to play quite a stupid character. Because I normally play bards or high charismatic. This is the other thing. I always end up being the party spokesman because my characters tend to be high in charisma, therefore better at passing deception, influence checks, etc. And again, even though I had a barbarian, I ended up with the most charismatic character for somehow. I really don't know what it is about my party that they seem to all think that charisma should be a dump stat. Obviously, I think if we had a paladin or a bard in the party, or even a warlock even, I think it would have been a completely different type of game, but I don't know what it is with the people that I play with. They never play any characters with any sort of high charisma, and the fact that my barbarian with a charisma of, I think it's 13, and that's purely because I think it's racial stats just added it up. If I actually know where my character sheet is, I'll probably be able to tell you. No worries, Phil. Take care. Cheers. But no, it's good fun. It's the first time I played Dragonborn. It's the first time I played Barbarian, and it's been a bit of a laugh. It's been great fun playing a stupid character as well. So, because I tend to be a sort of person who thinks outside the box when it comes to doing, trying to get around puzzles and stuff. So, for example, as a bard, I would probably use mage hand with minor illusion to try and deceive or create some sort of deception or something. Yeah, Yeah, I thought they did get a charisma bonus, but it's the fact that as a Dragonborn you get a charisma bonus and then suddenly become the most charismatic person in the party. It's a bit crazy. Hey Kat, how you doing? Good to see Katerina in here. So, not putting any pressure on Katerina, but she actually offered herself up as tribute to be interviewed on my channel. So we've just been discussing finding a time to do that. So really looking forward to speaking to Katerina on in an interview. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of research this weekend as well. So probably going to be talking about the comic book a lot, I think. But yeah, looking forward to it. And then obviously it takes some time to get the videos edited and put out. So I'd say probably week after next, hopefully we should be able to get that interview out. But really looking forward to that. So, right, so these have all been based, which is good. Now gonna do, I'm totally unprepared because I don't normally stream until 11 o'clock, so kind of messed up there. But yeah, I've just managed to spill water all over my desk. That's fantastic. So I'm just going to try and rinse out the airbrush a little bit, and then I will put some grey primer down. Yes, Lenore. It seems to always be the way. And the funny thing is, it's like all my friends who I play D&D. I mean, we've had this thing where, you know, what would your stats be in real life if you were to? And everyone says my best stat would be charisma, and I disagree because I think I'm actually quite a shy person. I mean, I'm absolutely terrified of what I'm doing. You know, the fact that I'm on Twitch. I mean, one of the reasons that I asked Hamish if I could stream on his channel is basically mostly so I didn't have the same sort of having to commit to it. Also to actually help Hamish's channel to have another hour's worth of content on there and everything, but also to try and help build up my shyness. But my friends would all say that I'm a high charisma person, but I don't think so. Yes, Katerina, I've literally just spent all this morning priming these minis. I spent all this week putting them together. Literally after work, I've been trying to put them together just so I can get through my backlog. But yeah, gonna do a Zenithal highlight now. Even though I'm probably not going to be doing much Zenithal painting, it just helps me see what's in the mini, if that makes sense. Yes, I fully agree. So, I mean, me personally, I think I would be high dex, low strength. Probably more reasonable in wisdom than I am intelligence, although it's a tough one. And I wouldn't put myself down as a high charisma. I think I'm very chatty once I get to know people, but I couldn't do like public speaking or anything like that. Hydrate, yes. It is nice that they see me that way. But things like streaming on Twitch, doing the videos on YouTube, to me that is effort. It's not something that comes naturally. You should see how much editing I do on my YouTube videos. The amount of ums and ahs that I take out. Let's get my glove. posture check. Thank you very much, Pete. I think, Lenora, I think it's a fun exercise to do. I think you should. Even just doing it as a nice breaker amongst friends might be something that you and Katerina should try on each other. It's like, I'm going to make a character sheet and I'm going to decide what my friend's class is going to be. But yeah, a lot of my friends think I'm a lot more entertaining than I actually think I am. We are, however, our own worst critics. You know what we should do? We should do it to Hamish. We should make a character sheet for Hamish, based on what we think he is. So I know for a fact he's extremely intelligent, extremely wise. I think he's wise as well, and I would actually rate his charisma much higher than my own. I think even the way that he is on stream is so much better than whatever I could be. But yeah, I think as a group we should do a little character sheet for Hamish. Be interesting what class he would be. Yeah, I mean, like I say, even just the Hamish is definitely very, very charismatic. I'm getting a lot of spluttering here. Yes, Lon, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see, you know, like you said about the chat that you had last week about top 5 classes. I think I remember you talking about there tends to be a lot of self-insert with the first character that you do. So, what was your number 1 class again, Lenore? I'm trying to remember. Half-elf druid. See, I always think of, when I think of druids, I always think of Radagast from Lord of the Rings. Every single time. So now I've got in my head, Lenore, that you're just like Radagast now. Everyone I watch on Twitch does awesome jobs, just need more streams. To be honest, Pete, if I had a choice, I would love to do full-time YouTube videos and streaming. I don't think I'll ever get there, but I really enjoy it. And it teaches me so much as well. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for a year now, and I'm nowhere near ready to be monetized or anything, but I've learned so much about video editing, graphics as well, so I put together some of my own graphics. Presentation, script writing, although to be honest with you, I have done scripts and then just completely gone off script, so I tend to just wing it and then edit it later. Right, this is getting blocked somehow, so somewhere it's dried up. A bit of a training thing for you. So airbrush nozzles tend to dry up because basically you're passing air over a stainless steel object, and that air is likely to dry up the paint that you're using, which is why we have the flow improver. The flow improver is supposed to help with that, but nope, this is completely clogged up. No worries, Lenore. Thank you ever so much for popping by. Have a good day at work. Ooh, this is actually quite badly clogged. Let's see if that's going to work now. Oh, no, that's no good. Alright, that means that something very badly wrong has gone on here. So, what I'll do... Another tip is never take the hose off when you've got paint in there. Reason for that is that hose is actually creating a lot of pressure. And when that pressure's gone, the paint can sometimes go back up into the airbrush itself. Right, I'm pretty sure I should stop airbrushing now. Yeah, there is a good way to clean it, but it might take me longer than how much time I've got left on the stream, so it's probably best to just stop for now. I do have a lot of beautifully primed minis to work with, so we're gonna look at this guy. Now this guy, let's have a look, can you see him okay? Very orky. I'm not too sure what his background is, so I'm trying to decide what to do, and I think I'm going to go with a green skin, I think. This lady looks super powerful, and she seems to have a giant eagle draped over her shoulders. This fella he reminds me of like a mix between Orko from He-Man and like a Van Helsing type character as well. Whereas this gentleman, very much a dashing and debonair Francis Drake type person. So Who should we go with? I think, yep, I think I'm going to go with this guy, the big guy. So let's get a few paintbrushes ready. And like I said earlier, I'm wanting to get these done quite quickly, so I'm just going to work with contrast paints for now, because with the two-tone highlight I can actually get quite a bit of coverage on there very quickly. So, and I'm not going to use my nice paintbrushes, I'm going to use this one. And the thing I like about the contrast paints, they're very translucent, so the zenithal underneath will come right through, which is something I'm always happy about. Just make sure everyone can see okay. Notice there's not actually a lot of skin showing. It tends to just be his fingers, arms and a bit of face. A little bit of chest. I feel like I've just painted the Incredible Hulk now. Not a bad thing to get inspiration from though. Okay, good. Thanks, Cat. One thing I'm hoping to get in the near future is some better lighting as well. So mostly for myself. Unfortunately, with the green screen down, I'm losing a lot of the light from the centre of the room. Right. Bit of skin. So I want to do something about the leather. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a very leather effect on all of the like a tabard, isn't it? And then what I might do is paint these individual panels with something that's not a contrast paint. I'm back. And I should have a snakebite leather somewhere. There we are. Yeah, what I find is because I've got this um, clamp right in front of me, it's actually blocking a lot of the light. So I might look into some ring lights or something. Although I am thinking about moving this room around again for a bit more space. I'm gonna get that belt. I admit this is very messy painting, but it's the beauty of working with contrast paints is you can kind of slap it on anywhere in the deepest recesses, and then what I find is I just worry about the higher levels a bit later. So at the moment I'm just trying to make sure I get it at the deepest level. And start just blocking in big amounts of colour for now. So later on, once I get to the things like the chainmail, I'll probably switch to a metallic for that. And then it doesn't matter so much that I've got leather spilling out onto other areas. So we've got the shin pads as well. Shin pads? Knee guards. Yes, it looks like I'm making an absolute mess, but to be honest with you, yeah, I am. I'm basically painting by numbers at the moment. Can always worry about tidying things up later. There's a leather strap again. Yes, Pete the Priest, it would be a great idea. The problem that I have though is if the light is too bright, then my camera doesn't like it at all, and then unfortunately it won't just be me who's got the sun next to me, it'll be all you lot as well. So because I do actually have a lamp right here, which I normally use when I'm just painting normally, but if you see when I turn it on, it takes a little while. Now that needs to be closer, and yeah, you're ending up with this and then by the time I bring it over here, it's actually not very useful at all, so I tend to not use it when I'm streaming. Hey Gerald, thank you ever so much for turning up. Really great. I'm really just really happy to see how many people who have made it here. Really surprised, so thank you ever so much. Like I said, if you joined late, I'm just filling in for Hamish today, as he has not been very well this week. So this is a get well soon Hamish stream for him. I'll be stopping at 11, so I was thinking about doing a 2-hour stream, but I don't know if I could. So we're just making a start on the Cursed City miniatures, so I have been base coating until my airbrush decided that it didn't want to work anymore, so I'm going to be doing a bit of airbrush cleaning later on. And in the meantime, just working on this very large fella. I'll actually show you something because I haven't released the video yet, but this is another miniature from the Cursed City, and that was one that I did during the week, and I made a video for that, so that should be going up on my YouTube fairly soon. And that was ridiculously easy how I did that, and I think the effect's quite good as well. I'm very happy with that, with how that turned out. Okay, so we've got all the leather areas done, and what we'll do is we're going to mix up some lead belcher, I think. There we go. Oh, we've got Iron Warriors as well. Let's have a look at this one. I might try this Iron Warriors because I don't think I've used it before. It looks like a really dark colour, so thank you. Now it looks very watery, that paint, so I think I need to give it a really good shake. Switch up brushes as well. Yeah, see, that's very, very dark, so I quite like the look of that. Let's just do all the metal for now. Thank you. Yeah, this is I won this from Tule. She was doing it as a giveaway, and I did a video for it earlier in the week. But the reason it's up there now, and the reason I've got the green screen behind me, is because I was doing a shorts video. So I've been taking some video of that from lots of different angles, and the idea is I'm going to use chroma key or green screen to basically superimpose a space background on it. How well that's going to turn out, we shall see. It's actually been suspended from the ceiling with a guitar string. So I had to dig around in my guitar box, and it's funny how I'm the sort of person who never throws away guitar strings, even when they've actually snapped. It doesn't make sense to keep snapped guitar strings, but I did. I don't think this is going to come out very well on the camera, But this Iron Warriors paint is coming out beautifully against the contrast. So like I said, again, I'm going to be using it all over anything that's metallic, just as a base for now. And I can obviously change that up later, but it's looking a lot better than it would do if I was using lead belcher, which is always normally my go-to paint when it comes to painting metal. I have managed to find a little bit more green skin as well, so I'm going to have to go back over that with the contrast paint. Yeah, I find I like the Vallejo um, airbrush metals because they're just really thin and really well pigmented. Um, Lead Belcher seems to be my go-to for everything. It's kind of like a bit of a magic paint, but at the same time, it's like a lot of people talk about Retribution armor as the best gold, um, and I disagree. I can't stand the look of the type of shine that Retributor armor has. I don't think it's a very good gold at all. But and I always try to move away and try out a different type of gold, or I'd probably rather go with like brass or copper over gold. But I do want to check out a lot more metallics from different types of companies. I've heard some of the MSP stuff is really nice as well, so I plan to get some MSP metallics as well as the Army Painter ones. But like I say, I'm really impressed with this Iron Warrior one as well. It just has a lovely grey sheen to it, which you can see there's light reflecting off it, but it's not shiny, if that makes sense. So it looks like something's, you know, like not everything made of metal is shiny. It just makes, this just seems to make everything look very heavy and looks like it's made of metal without being too shiny. I'm probably just talking rubbish now, so I do apologise. It's things like the buckle. Yeah, I'm probably gonna take a break for now. Well, got 5 minutes left. Yeah, Thanks, Cat. Cat, someone appreciates. Yeah, it's like a more matte metal. Not everything is polished, and that's the important thing that I find. It's like it's almost like when you see a lot of fancy miniatures painted, it's almost like they're all covered in mud, dirt, and everything, but they seem to have polished all their silver beforehand, and it just doesn't look right to me. It just doesn't sit right in my eyes. So, still in two minds whether to do a bit more colour on the skirting, because he's got these lovely panels. If I was painting him as a samurai, for instance, I'd probably paint them red with a bit of a dry brush to highlight the buckles and stuff. But I'll wait for that all to dry first before I start looking at what I'm going to do next. But I'm quite happy with the leather straps going across his chest and his belt. I've now identified a few more areas where we've actually got green flesh. The mace is looking good. I'm quite happy with. Is that a mace or a morning star? I'm going to say mace. The mace is looking good, so I'm quite happy with that. And the metallics just seems to be a good metallic, so I'm happy with that as well. Might do the knee pads actually. Yes, Gerald, I agree with that as well. Another good combination is sepia. So Seraphim Sepia over Lead Belcher gives a really nice rust effect as well. That's worth checking out. There's a few of the GW paints which I call my magic paints, and you can just use them over a big area and then completely change them using either glazes or washes. And the one that I love the most is Rakarth Flesh. I think it's the most versatile paint they've ever done. Like I say, that whatever this was, about 80% of that is Rakarth Flesh. The rest of it is just washes over the top. But I've turned Rakarth Flesh into human skin stretched over a shield. I've used it as it's just brilliant. And sometimes it's just fun just basically getting one colour, painting it on something, and then seeing what all the different washes and the different glazes do to the paint. And a lot of it I discover it by accident. I mean, like I said last week with the satin that I did, which is just a little bit of Vallejo silver air paint and a little bit of the Blood Angels contrast paint, but it gives a fantastic satin look. And that was the, where is she? Oh, she's still there. And that was the samurai lady that I did last week. And I don't know if anyone saw the video that I put on the YouTube channel, but it still, to me, it still looks like satin. Maybe not to everyone, but like I say, a lot of the stuff that I find, I tend to find it by accident. So I just noticed the time. We've got 1 minute left. Thank you ever so much for sticking around, for joining me in fact. You didn't have to, but thank you ever so much. And Hamish, do get well soon. We hope to see you soon. So thank you everyone. And I was going to suggest that we do a raid, but I'm on a hosted Twitch stream, which means I don't actually have control over the entire channel, so I'm not too sure how to do a raid. But there's someone called Crystal McDowell who's just literally starting off now, and if you know her, if you got some time, I do recommend just pop over and have a look at her channel. But yeah, thank you ever so much, and have a great weekend everyone. Take care now. Bye bye.